Hi friends, it's DJ Montague. Today we are going to take a look at my Blood Necro build that a friend of mine and I have theory crafted and am now executing in hardcore, currently in the hardcore first to 100 race. Now we're just gonna go through this as fast as possible because I obviously need to get back to climbing because, you know, Woody Joe's at like level 72 and I'm at level 58 right now. We're gonna try and get to like 68, 70 by the end of the day. We'll see how it goes. Now I will have a disclaimer that Bone Necro is probably one of the best, if not the best builds for Necro. So if you are looking for the highest amount of damage output, this is not going to be it. This is a burst build. This is very much just like sucking up the life of your enemies and doing big overpowers and trying to combo more so than just throwing bone spears everywhere. So just be aware. Let's get into it real quick. Hopefully there's no queue, because obviously this is just going to go straight to YouTube. I'm not going to edit this down. So welcome to my live version of things. Most importantly, if you are going to start leveling with this build, it can work. I have done it. Let's see. The most important legendaries that you are going to pick up, or aspects that you should be picking up and focusing on, two of them being Blood Surge Nova Echoes, which is in the Fractured Peaks area. While at full life, Blood Orbs grant Essence, which is pretty important later on in the build when you get more stuff, so you don't have to go immediately go get this one. I know this is, I think this is south of Kilvashad. This is also south of Kilvashad, but this is a pretty big one for around level 35, I want to say, when you're actually starting to get everything working cohesively, including having Rathma's Vigor. This is Fast Blood Circle, Blood Orbs reduce your ultimate cooldown. Now, I got a perfect roll on this. 1 in 5 chance of a good roll, right? Or the roll. I think that this one is incredibly important because you're spawning Blood Orbs regularly. If you have this one, consuming a corpse has a 28% chance to spawn a Blood Orb. Now, all of these are important to the build, but what makes it a combo build is the two-handed version of the Corpse Tendrils, a legendary. Now, Corpse Tendrils, you're pretty much using it as soon as you start a fight, because I personally use Reap. So I enter the fight with Reap, I throw down Corpse Tendrils, I then smash some monsters with a, you know, overpower or a Blood Surge, or an overpowered Blood Wave, or an overpowered Blood Mist. Now, Blood Mist is probably your highest DPS, which is crazy to say because it's your defensive, but I'll come out here, you know, we'll go somewhere and show you real quick. Those are your legendaries that you're going to be looking for specifically. There are other accent legendaries, especially if you're doing hardcore. You cannot run hardcore without having the barrier legendary, I think. This critical strikes increase your movement speed by 8%, giving you some mobility. Mobility is very hard to come by on Necro, so I highly recommend it. Let's do a little test for you guys. We'll get out somewhere, find some mobs. Hey, ambush me. You're not enough. That's not enough. That's not a good test, you know? What's up? Let's go over here, guys. Come on, we're going to hang out with the scorpions. Okay. So you're doing the auto attack, you're pulling them together, and then you're doing a blood explosion, right? Blood surge explosion. You can bring them together, get your corpse explosions, get your essence back, and you're in a good spot. You see, I have a decent amount of fortify because I've dropped some blood orbs. Now, if you do another style where you walk up, auto, throw that down, and then you're throwing the blood wave over him, you're getting your maximum hits from the 3 blood waves if you have that legendary, and you're getting lots of fortify. So obviously fortify helps a ton. That's why I'm playing this in hardcore. The other legendary that we have is Blood Wave fires 2 additional waves, each dealing, you know, less damage. But what they don't tell you is that Rathma's Vigor overpowered skills that are guaranteed to overpower will always hit for the maximum amount of overpower damage they possibly can. This includes blood mist. So your blood mist goes from hitting, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage to hitting, oh, I used my mount. Sorry. Give me a sec. Sorry. I used my mount and that got rid of my Rathma's vigor. You know, these things go off the rails when you're doing them fully live. So hold up. All right, there we go. Pull them, gank them, and now we're hitting for 1,500 to 2,500 with 0 fortify up. So when you're just chugging along in a dungeon, that's obviously going to go nearly double. So the whole reasoning for this is we're doing the bucket system. We're trying to get our vulnerability. We're trying to get crit damage through the crit strike chance of the corpse tendrils skill and the legendary, and that's where we're kind of doing as much possible damage as we can right now. Let me show you my skills real quick. You guys can go through and you guys can go through and kind of stop and see what I'm taking. You can take hemorrhage early on for extra fortify. Also, you can swap this for supernatural blood surge early on because you aren't going to be healthy all the time. So taking max blood surge pretty early is important. You can eventually take imperfectly balanced. I don't because my personal preference, but hewed flesh is important. 1 point into corpse explosion because you are, you know, eventually going to get the legendary if you choose to of blood mist, exploding corpse explosions. It only explodes 5 now as opposed to like the 12 it did before, so it's not as good. Fueled by Death only has a couple points because I haven't finished farming all the areas. We don't use Iron Maiden at all. Death's Embrace, these are the most important ones. Also, obviously, this is a no pet build, so you're sacrificing all your pets, so we are taking all the sacrifices of Standalone for the damage reduction, 18%, and Memento Warrior for 60%. And then finally, Rathma's Vigor. Important Paragon glyphs, just so you guys are aware. I think that this glyph will change later on. I am using this one right now. Again, I am only level 58. It is the beginning of day 3 for me. So this one, I have been doing 16-hour days, but again, Necromancer isn't like Rogue, and I also didn't play during the beta tests, so I don't have all the perfect information for you guys. This is just, like I said, a quick and dirty explanation. Blood Drinker is really strong for the early game, just so you can get the magic nodes, and your blood orbs now fortify. That's pretty huge. I think that passive is just massive, because I get rid of, until I had that, I had necrotic carapace. But anyways, I think exploit is extremely strong for later on, dealing damage to vulnerable enemies, and then it's also based glyph. It will not go in this glyph socket. That most likely will either be Gravekeeper or Undaunted. I think Undaunted is the one that I'm going to put here because I am in hardcore. Now, if you are not in hardcore, you're in softcore, and you're just trying to maximize damage, Undaunted doesn't even get put on your glyphs. Don't use it. Do another one of these like better rare nodes, sorry. Because I'm doing Undaunted because I need the fortified damage reduction all day, every day on hardcore. So I use this specific board. This is, I think, the yeah, Blood Begets Blood. There's another blood tree that I do end up taking afterward, which I have it in this build guide, which isn't up to date either. But let's see. Let's make sure I'm correct on this one. Sorry. Website is not cooperating with me. This one is Bloodbath, and then after that is man, website's not cooperating at all. I use Scent of Death. I do take the legendary nodes in most of these just because they are good for they're good for doing a lot of stuff. Scent of Death is the next board, and I was using it with Essence, which increased crit strike damage. And the last board I would go into is Flesh Eater. This is obviously going to be like close to level 100 where you're maximizing any sort of damage you can. But this would be Gravekeeper is the one I theory crafted. Now you could switch those around again. Like I said, doesn't have to be perfectly aligned with what I'm doing. But I wanted to make sure that I could talk to you guys about how I think this build actually slaps. And it's really fun. And you're not just doing the cookie cutter bone build. And you're just a different person than everybody else. So, thank you, friends. I am currently live on Twitch, twitch.tv/DJ Montague. Come check me out. Throw me a follow. We can chat about this as much as we can. I will be running mostly Nightmare Dungeons and stuff, so I'm doing a lot of focusing up. But you're wonderful for being here. Thank you so much. I will see you soon. Have a good one. Peace.